Okay, so we are going to do another problem where we have a decimal inside of the divisor only. And this time we want it to the nearest thousandths. Okay, and if we talk about place value after the decimal, we know that we have our tenths. How can I do this? I'll just do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have our tenths, our hundredths, our thousandths, 10 thousandths, and so on. So we only need it to the nearest thousandths. Okay, so this is our tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So we only need in our answer 3 numbers after the decimal. But we will actually need 4 numbers because the number next to the thousandths will let us know what happens to my final number in my answer, which is my thousandths. So I'll need my 10 thousandths. All right, so let's go on and set up our problem. We know that the dividend is always going to be divided by the divisor. The dividend is just basically how much you have to share or how much you're willing to share. And the divisor is telling us, well, how many equal groups we can have if we split up evenly the dividend, okay? And our answer is also known as the quotient. So let's go on and set up our division house. We have 964 inside the house. The dividend we know always goes in, and the divisor stays out. So have our numbers there. And so we have our 5 family members that we have to remember about. They're called Daddy, which is for division. Mommy is for multiplication. Sister is for subtraction. Brother is for bring down. And then Rover the dog, is for repeating the process again. Okay. All right. So when we have a decimal, we learned that we cannot work with partial numbers inside of division. It has to be up here on top of the house. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of this decimal. So because I only have a decimal in my divisor, I'm going to move it however many times it takes for me to get it behind the ones place or the final number so that it becomes a whole number. So we've moved it one time to put it behind the 3, which turns that now into a 13. And we need to do the same thing inside of the house. And we know that if we don't see a decimal, that means it's a whole number and the decimal is always behind the ones place. So that is where we will start the decimal. And then we are going to move it one time to the right. And it will go up on top of the house. Okay, so it's going to actually go up there. And inside of that empty space, we will fill that with a 0. So if we want to clean this up, this is what the problem looks like now that we've done all that moving. It looks like we have 13 for the divisor, and it looks like we have 9,640 for the dividend, and our decimal is outside of the house, just to the right of the 0. All right, so now we are going to begin our process. So we start. 13 cannot go into 9, but it can go into 96. And 96 divided by 13, it can go in there 7 times. So 7 times 13, because now we do our multiplication. 7 times 13 is 91. Okay, and then we subtract to find the difference between those two numbers. So 91 from 96 leaves me with 5. And then baby brother, bring down the next number. So I bring my 4 down. And now I'm trying to find out, well, how many groups of 13 are inside of 54? And there's a total of 4. So 13 times 4 is 52. 52. Yep, 52. So we'll take away 52. And 52 from 54, 52 from 54 leaves me with 2. And then I bring down the next number, which is a 0. Okay. And so now we have 13 into 20 one time. 1 times 13 is 13. Subtract the difference between those two numbers is 7. I'm all out of numbers up here. So what do I do now? I can just add a 0. Okay. And bring it down. Okay. 13 goes into 70. 5 times. 5 times 13 is 65. Subtract. I have 5 left. I have one number after the decimal, but remember, I'm going to need a total of 3. So I need to add another 0. Bring it down. 13 can go into 50. 4, 3 times. That would give me 39. That leaves me with 11. I still don't have 3 numbers after the decimal, so I need to go on and add another 0. Bring it down. 110 divided by 13 gives me 8. And then 8 times 13 gives me 104, which leaves me with 6. But I don't need to go any further because I do have my 3 numbers after the decimal. So I only need it to the nearest thousandth. Actually, no. I need to go one more. I'm sorry. I do need to go one more because I was mixing it up. So we have our tenths, our hundredths, our thousandths. That's how many will be in my answer. But I need my next number to tell me what happens to that 8. If it stays the same or if it's going to go up. So I'll bring that down. And now 13 can go inside of 64 times. And that's 52. And we subtract it. So we're left with a total of 8. But I have enough numbers to figure out what my answer is going to be if I round it to the nearest thousand. So what I'm going to do is look at my 8 is the one that may change based on what happens to my right-hand man. And my right-hand man is less than 5. So that means that my 8 will stay the same. So my quotient is going to be 741 and 538 thousandths. That will be my answer. Thank you so much for watching.